Hello, fellow followers. Welcome back to FanZcene. Greg here, and today for you, cult movies are the new rock and roll. So Grindhouse Releasing, shout out to Grindhouse Releasing, is going to be releasing an old 70s cult William Shatner movie called Impulse.
Where you going? Hey, watch it. What do you think you do? Own this place? Fat. People like you ought to be ground up and made into dog food. Hey. You know what's in these things?
What's that all about?
Oh, no.
This movie is from the 70s, and honestly, it looks bonkers, and I'm definitely picking this movie up. But they recently signed, Grindhouse recently signed with MVD Entertainment Group, which releases a lot of great movies on physical media. And I saw this article from Media Play News right here that I wanted to cover a little bit and talk about, about cult movies and everything. Because we sort of talked about this a little bit with how horror movies, which cult movies and horror movies and B movies and sci-fi movies all go hand in hand, are keeping physical media alive. So this says MVD signs Grindhouse Releasing to distribution deal starting in March with William Shatner's cult classic Impulse. I love that picture of William Shatner there. I'm actually pretty excited about this. This article comes to us from Kurt Sanderson at Media Play News. Let's scroll down to where I want to talk about, where it gets to it. Let's see, where is it at? Right here. Where it talks about Grindhouse and everything. This is what I wanted to get to. It says, Grindhouse was launched in 1996 by Sage Stallone. Yes, that is Sylvester Stallone's son, and Bob Murawski. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. As the first label to produce lavishly restored home video editions of Italian exploitation epics by Lucio Fulci, Umberto Lenzi, and Ruggiero Deodato, which I'm sure I mispronounced that name. But I love that there's companies like this, like Grindhouse Releasing, that are releasing these type of movies that typically would have been lost to like the VHS era or even the early DVD era to never be seen again, or just lost to like 35 millimeter prints that were just thrown away or something. They're sent to Brazil, because that's like their last stop to get rid of them. It says, I've always been a big fan of MVD, how they cater to the independent record stores, and independent and boutique labels is what we're at right now, says Murawski. They fully understand the philosophy that our late friend Jay Douglas espoused. Cult movies are the new rock and roll, and therefore the perfect fit for Grindhouse Releasing. And I love to hear that. I love to hear this. MVD's director of home video sales and acquisitions, Eric Wilkinson, said, we are happy to welcome Bob Murawski and his legendary company, Grindhouse Releasing, to MVD's growing family of amazing boutique collectors labels. And like I said, this is where everybody keeps saying like physical media is dead, it's dying, what are we going to do? Oh no. Physical media has basically become like a boutique collectors market, and movies like this, like Impulse, which I've never heard of, and I'm super pumped to actually see, are getting boutique releases. And I know some people, it can be difficult because once they sell out, you can't find them and everything. I get it, but this is really a big collectors market, and it's very much like rock and roll at the time, like especially with cult movies, where it's like, oh, rock and roll's bad, it's bad for you, it's the devil's music and stuff. And when in reality, if you really listen to it or watch these movies, they're a lot more innocent than you think, and just really fun and entertaining and stuff like that. So I love hearing this stuff like this. It says Grindhouse has some exciting titles coming in the near future that fans are going to love, and MVD is more than eager to get these into collectors' hands. Upcoming Grindhouse Releasing titles include new restorations of 3 long, unavailable, and overlooked cinema classics. This is what I love. I love that we're getting these companies like this, finding movies that maybe we've never heard of or never seen of, or that were lost to time, or at least we thought were lost to time, that are now being resurrected. It says Hollywood 90028, which I heard is an absolutely bonkers movie. I've never seen it, but I've heard it's a bonkers movie. Scum of the Earth and Palmer Rocky's Love is Deep Inside. Grindhouse is currently finishing 4K Ultra HD disc awesome editions of The Beyond and Cannibal Holocaust, with more UHD titles to follow. And I love that you're getting the 4K. They did an excellent release of the movie Pieces. Crazy movie. I love it. I love hearing this. This is what I love to hear, because nowadays there's so much stuff out there, coming in the theaters, or streaming, I should say, not so much theaters, that is just not very good movies. New stuff. I'm talking about new stuff. And I find myself going back to older movies or movies that I've never seen. And like I've talked about, and like Tom Savini says, just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not new to you. You know, just because you may think it's something's old, it's new. It's like something like this. I find myself going back to stuff like Impulse or like older cult horror movies or sci-fi movies or stuff from the 80s to 70s, 90s, maybe that I overlooked or that I remember that just seem to be so much better than new movies that are coming to streaming or in some cases theaters, because theaters aren't what they once were. And I love hearing that Grindhouse video, and I'm hoping that their partnership with the MVD is very fruitful. Grindhouse releasing, I should say. I love hearing that they're bringing these movies that are lost. Hey, these movies are not for everybody. That's why they're cult movies. That's why they're like underground type stuff. They're not for everybody. But honestly, I think if people can get past the fact that they're not these $400 billion million dollar movies, that they're not like super well produced. They have film grain. They have stars like William Shatner in it that maybe you are more familiar with Star Trek. They have these movies like this. If you can watch these lower budget type movies and stuff, you might find something you really, really like in these movies. And for those interested about Impulse. So let's, talk a little bit about the movie Impulse real quick. It's the 2-disc Blu-ray box set, boasts a new 4K transfer of Impulse that has been restored from archival 35 millimeter elements and more than 15 hours of bonus features produced in cooperation with the film's director, William Greffey, which I hope I said his name right. Extras include Kingdom of the Shatner, a 2022 live festival appearance in which Shatner reflects on the making of this movie, his memories of starring in the other 1970s hits like Kingdom of the Spiders, great movie by the way, I love that movie, and The Devil's Reign, and his experience going into space. The set also offers an in-depth look at the actor's career in the 1970s from director, screenwriter, and film historian C. Courtney Joyner, a great guy, that's a great guy. On-camera interviews with Greffey, which I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names. Producer, makeup artist Doug Hobart, and art director Roger Carlton Sherman. Audio commentary with Greffey, a haunting alternate French soundtrack, still galleries, trailers, and hours of rare treasures from Greffey's vaults, including 2 complete feature films, The Devil's Sisters and The Godmothers. That's why I love these, and it also comes with a full-color glossy illustrated booklet with linear notes from underground filmmaker Jacques Barret. Rounds up out the package, which comes in an embossed slipcover and a collectible postcard of an original oil portrait of William Shatner by painter Dave LeBeau. I love it. Now for what the movie is about, and switch from his usual film, the TV role Shatner in the 1974 film portrays homicidal maniac Matt Stone, a con artist and gigolo who preys on rich widows, viciously murdering the victims of his Playboy scam when he loses control of his sick psychosexual urges. The supporting cast includes Ruth Roman, Kim Nichols, Jennifer Bishop, and James Bond villain Harold Oddjob Sakata from Goldfinger as Matt's former cellmate Karate Pete. I absolutely love hearing this. I think this is amazing. It is interesting because I find myself buying a lot of MVD stuff lately too as well. MVD has a ever-growing catalog that I'm starting to really love, and I'm looking forward to picking up joysticks from the MVD Rewind collection and Hardware Wars. Great cult movies in and of themselves. But this is what when I talk about physical media here, about how it's changed and it's gone back to the collector, it's stuff like this that is really becoming the collector's market. And I know that can suck for some people because some people, they say it's hard to find these movies. They can't afford these movies. And I get that. I completely get it. So I say, if you can't afford them, you can't find them, don't stress about them. But I love hearing that because this proves to me that physical media is not dead or is not dying. It's that it's still out there. It's still available. And we're getting movies like Impulse and some of these other crazy cult movies that honestly I thought would be lost forever, and stuff I've never heard of that I find myself finding more and more interested in than newer stuff, because it seems so much more entertaining and creative and just fun. And that's why I like watching movies. That's why I collect. And I only really collect what I like. And this William Shatner movie looks like something I know I would probably really, really like. Looks right up my alley. So I am super pumped for this release. Grindhouse releasing. I'm excited to see what you guys got coming down the line. And I hope this deal with MVD Group turns out to be very fruitful, like I mentioned earlier. But to everybody watching out there, let me know, you guys, what you guys think. Have you ever seen the movie Impulse? What do you guys think about the merging of, because we talk about some of these boutique labels and stuff starting to work together and stuff. So what do you guys think about Grindhouse signing with MVD Group and some of the stuff they got coming down? What are some of your favorite unknown cult movies that people maybe out there don't know? because I had never heard of this movie Impulse before ever in my life. And now that I've seen clips from it and hearing what it's about, I'm definitely pumped for this and I want to buy it. So what are some of those movies out there that maybe you guys know that are cult movies that nobody knows? Leave that in the comment section down below. And if you liked what you saw here, maybe consider hitting that like button or subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. That would be awesome if I earned your guys subscriptions, or possibly share the video out for everybody to see, or join and become a channel member, because that would help out my channel immensely. Thank you, and shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for all your support and always having my back, and just for being awesome. And to everybody watching, whether you liked me, hated me, or liked this video or hated this video, I thank you for sticking this long. Wherever you all are, please have a great, safe, happy, healthy day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Always support physical media. It truly is the superior format. Godspeed.